guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rise. We're back here at Tasca Buick GMC in Palm Harbor. And guess what? I have that one mid-size truck that really brings that professional grade to your driving experience. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 GMC Canyon. This particular one, believe it or not, is the base elevation trim. But before we get into the smaller sibling to the large Sierra, let's talk about what's going on here. So, mid-size truck segment is really nuts. A lot of redesigns, a lot of different ways to spec your truck, and of course the pricing at the end of the day. Now, in this market right now, it seems that the car pricing has gotten astronomical, especially truck pricing. So, I really wanted to bring this elevation trim to show what a entry-level trim can bring for the money without breaking the bank. So what I want to find out at the end of the day, if you're looking for the most affordable mid-size truck, but you don't want to go bare bones where you just have 4 tires and you're sitting on a milk crate inside the truck, is the elevation the way to go to have some amenities but also not break the bank? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this rapid red flare version of an elevation and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, I love the color. Really sparkles like a ruby in the Florida sun. At the front of the business, they really did it right. When they did the redesign a couple years ago on this Canyon, they did it right. LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals. I love the way the turn signals drip down into the separate pod for your LED headlight. A little bit of GMC badging in there. Some flat black, and then working our way down to ground level, even the way that they carve out this lower bumper area just gives it a nice, rugged, muscular look. And I think a lot of people have gotten over the whole fact of having a split headlight separate from other lighting on the front of a vehicle. Now, as we come across that professional grade grille, digging how it's a mixture of flat black with just a little bit of gloss black. The GMC badge really pops up from behind all that darkness. And then working our way down, you have flat black and some functionality in the center. And then check it out. Elevation trim gets you LED fog lamps. Now on top of that, you are going to have your black painted recovery tow hooks. And I like the way they designed the lower bumper area to give you a better approach angle if you're going to do some light off-roading. But let me know what you think about the face of this Canyon compared to, say, the sister version, which is the Chevrolet Colorado, or even if you're going to compare it to a Tacoma or a Frontier. Let me know your thoughts. Now, as we rise up, big bold hood, just like the bigger brother, the Sierra. I like this unique indentation in the center, and then you have the drop off on both sides. Kind of gives you a mini bulge. A little bit of a chub bulge going on there, which just gives it that nice kind of look. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire on this particular elevation? Digging these multi-spoke gunmetal metallic gray wheels with the GMC badge on it. And then we have these Goodyear Wrangler Territory all-terrain tires. It's a light off-roading tire. You have some light shielding protection, but it's nice to see on a truck rather than just street tires. And I don't mind the flat black fender flare. I think that it's a good size and it just fits the attitude of this elevation, especially with the GMC side marker lights. Now, as we come down the side, you do have gloss black on the mirror cap with a little bit of flat black. And then you have that elevation badge. Nice dark blacked out badge from the side. Mid-size truck is really where it's at. I feel like for a lot of people, full-size truck is just a pain. It's a pain to park. Can't put it in your garage a lot of times. So nice to have this size of truck. Working our way towards the rear, all the usual GMC styling cues are there. The way they shape the cab, the fender openings. Coming towards the rear, Steven will be able to show off that steel box frame. It's a real truck. It's not like a Ridgeline. And then coming around back, you'll notice that our particular one has the 4x4 option. And I like the way they did the badging on the side of the bed. better than just a sticker, like a vinyl decal. And then really finishing it off super well. Now, one of the zonks you'll notice is that they have the old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulb in there for the turn signal. That's a big zonk, but you do have LED stop lights, brake lights, GMC badge, the Canyon looking good, even another elevation badge for good measure. Working our way down the ground level, you have your full tow receiver hookup, and you got the spare mounted nice and high out of the way. I even like the fact that it has the corner step, so you could get your clown shoe, your work boot, maybe some your tap shoes. Steven's practicing his training in tap dancing, so you can get your tap dancing shoes, and it's nice because you could just go, or you could do some nice, let's see if I could get both feet up there. Oh yeah, you could do some nice calf raises, which are good. Good to get a little workout in when you can. And then, let's see if I have the keys on me. Hopefully it'll open. I don't think I do. For some reason it's locked. I don't know why it's locked. I told Steven to unlock it. Let's go see if I can find the key. Steven's gonna stay here and I'm gonna dig and get the keys out. There we go. It should work now. Let's try it one more time. This is what happens sometimes in the world of doing car reviews. You just gotta roll with it. Just gotta roll. There we go. Nice soft release. It was worth the wait because look, you do have your ruler so you and your friends can measure who has the biggest fish that they caught. And then you even have the nice dry storage underneath here. So what you do is you slide these and then they should unslide so that you could open it. There we go, thank God. Nice dry storage in there. Put some towels, maybe some food back there, some Twinkies for when you get stuck because you don't know how to open up the tailgate to a truck. And then we lock it up, and then love the way we have the bed liner, all those tie down locations, and you get a home power source. So we got you covered there. But why don't we go ahead? I was able to close it. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's pop the hood and see what the heck is powering this Canyon. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm gonna zonk it, not because it's so much a prop rod, it's just right in the freaking way. It's kind of a stupid place to put a prop rod, but what do we have underneath the hood? That is that 2.7 liter turbocharged inline four, 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. Top speed is governed to 100 miles an hour. MPGs, 18 in the city, 23 on the highway. The truck weighs 5,250 pounds, but check this out. You ready? It could tow 7,700 pounds. That's quite respectable for a midsize. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 4-cylinder turbo and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 GMC Canyon Elevation 4x4. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, lay it on me. You're talking about affordability and pricing. I've looked at truck pricing. I can't believe the numbers I'm seeing, but how much is this one? So MSRP base, you're looking at $43,000. This particular one, the way it's spec'd, has an MSRP of $47,000. Remember, that's 4x4, and you're getting the off-road tires, and it's got even little things like the LED fog lamps, which some of the other brands don't even do unless you pony up big money. But why don't we see what else the Elevation brings for your hard-earned dollar? To the door panels. My only zonk with it is the hard black plastic up top. That's it. Other than that, I'm fine with the dark material, soft touch on the armrest. You got a little bit of white contrast stitching, a GMC Twinkie tray up top in the middle there. 5 Twinkies, no problem. And you could put a Yeti bottle. Steven likes to bring his Yeti bottle wherever he goes. He could fit it right inside that door pocket. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, a little bit of silver trim, I'm okay with it. And even the way they did this kind of design, instead of just doing gloss black, it actually looks really good and there's no fingerprints. Now, slide on in, you're gonna get an 11.3-inch infotainment system, all the goodies, the full Google suite of all the apps, Amazon Alexa, and then all the familiar easy slide action. You got your cameras, the one camera off the back, that's the one thing this is missing, but it is light off-roading, but you do get your off-roading gauges, which are really cool, especially the way you could bring all that up, even overlanding, for God's sakes. Kind of crazy for the price. And then you have the ability to shut off your traction control, all those easy access goodies, and then here's your homepage. As you can see, it's very intuitive, very fast reacting. 3 stages of heated seats, dual climate, which is nice, great switch gear. You have your toggle switches for auxiliary lighting if you wanted to put. You could actually roll all 4 windows down by the press of a button, USB-C, USB-A, and a place where you could put, I would say, 4 paydays. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic. And then you have your 4x4 setup here, auto, 2 high, 4 high, and then you twist it, and look at what we get, the different modes. Really nice graphics. Look at that, it's like playing a freaking video game. It's like looking at pictures in a magazine. And then you have your 2 cup holders, soft touch on the armrest with the stitching. Open it up. You do have a large tray where you could put your nuts. I remember as a kid, every time my dad and I would go to 12 Hours of Sebring, and we've been going since 1983, he would need to always get a bag of boiled peanuts. There was this one fruit stand that was in Avon Park, which is near Sebring, and he'd always have to get a bag of these boiled peanuts, and they used to reek, and I hated the smell, and I refused to eat any of them. But my dad would love to put his boiled nuts in here. And then underneath, you could probably put, I would say, 4 packages of Mike and Ike's. I like Mike and Ike's. I'd rather have Mike and Ike's than boiled peanuts. That's just me. Steven's more of a boiled peanut kind of guy. I'd rather have Mike and Ike's. Seats, the soft touch, the stitching, simple, clean, manual adjustments for the passenger. I have 8-way adjustments for the driver, and this particular one does not have a sunroof, which I'm okay with at this price point. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the good-looking wheel in this good-looking Canyon. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You got your easy access electric seats with the lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall, and there's plenty of room in this midsize truck. Just proves, once again, you don't need a full-size truck. Steering wheel, the leather, the stitching, that GMC badge, honk, the horn works. Love the way everything is flat black on the switchgear. It is manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you do have the 11-inch digital gauge cluster. But watch this, you ready? Transformers, more than meets the eye. So you could actually transform it into all this different information, whatever way you want it. Any way you want it, any way you got it. So there we are. And no, on an elevation trim, there's no head-up display. So you're not missing out on that. But let's get in the back seat and see if there's enough room in this Canyon compared to the competition. All right, guys, back seat time. And the problem with these midsize trucks is that the back seat really is never fantastic unless you buy a Honda Ridgeline. But as we know, a lot of people don't even consider that an actual truck. But the Canyon, it's decent. I got plenty of headroom, which is nice. And I do like the way they kind of cut part of the back cushion out so you kind of sink into it to actually help with just overall comfort. You do have, let's see if I can do this on camera without racking myself in the nuts. You do have storage underneath, which is great. You're gonna just use this little flipper switch right there. Look at that, I did it. And then you have these large pockets. You could easily put a 50, 60 comic book collection back in here. Maybe you got Superman issue #1, Spider-Man, Batman. Let me know in the comment section, are you more a DC person or are you more a Marvel person? I think I'm gonna have to go Marvel. That's just me. You do have 2 cup holders, your AC vents, USB-C, USB-A, and check it out, a home power source. That's pretty nice on a base trim. And like I said, the seats are decent. What makes up for it is the soft armrest with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go for a ride in this Canyon. All right, guys, we left Tasca Buick GMC. We're behind the wheel of this 2025 GMC Canyon Elevation trim 4x4. And right away, it's a comfortable truck. I really like these Canyons, especially with what they've done with the redesign. Seats are very, very supportive, but yet snuggle you. It's a nice feeling sitting behind the wheel, getting to that 11.3-inch screen, well within reach. You have your 11-inch digital gauge cluster, which you can configure 20 different ways from Sunday. And just overall, very, very easy to drive. Everything is so accessible. And yet it does all the good truck stuff. You got a good tow rating. It's got an 8-speed automatic. I know some people don't love the 4-cylinder turbo, but it's got a ton of horsepower and a ton of torque. You ready? On throttle, drops down and we're off. So you are getting some sound pumped in, which kind of helps with the overall experience driving a 4-cylinder turbo truck. And it's not obnoxious. It actually really helps it along the way. Seats are super freaking comfortable. Dual climate control. And it's just one of those things that, you know, depending on what brand you're looking at, some of these truck prices, they're getting into the 50s, $60,000 range, almost $70,000 for a mid-size truck, which is, that's just pure insanity. So it's nice to have some options where, like I said, it's not bare bones. This has 4x4. It's got some great technology. And like I said, Tacoma, 4-cylinder turbo. Chevrolet Colorado, 4-cylinder turbo. Ford Ranger, 4-cylinder turbo. So really your only options if you want a naturally aspirated V6 is to go Honda Ridgeline, Jeep Gladiator, or Nissan Frontier. That's it. But even with those lightly off-road spec tires, you're not getting a ton of road noise. I mean, it's a little road noise, extra road noise, but it's nothing too over the top, and it's nice to have that extra protection, especially on the sidewall if you are going to do some light off-roading. But really the only things that are sticking out to me like a sore thumb is that hard plastic. And this particular trim does not have wireless charging. I don't know how important that is to you. I know some people hate wireless charging. So there you go. It all depends on what you want. But good visibility out the windshield. I love seeing that slight bulge to the hood. Looking out back, perfect. All the safety features, of course. It's just a good looking truck. I actually like the Canyon better than the Colorado, even though the Colorado is basically the same truck, just because of the style of it. Especially in this red. And I'm not a big red truck kind of guy, but it works on this Canyon. And when you think about the backseat area, like I said, most of the trucks are going to have a little bit tighter room. You're not going to find a mid-sized truck that just has all this room unless you go with something like a Honda Ridgeline. Honda Ridgeline has tons of room in the backseat if you're very concerned about that. But what's nice about the suspension, it's not too soft, so the truck isn't like just swaying all over the place. And the 8-speed's doing a great job. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this 2025 GMC Canyon Elevation trim. We're gonna get back to Tasca Buick GMC Palm Harbor and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Tasca Buick GMC Palm Harbor. Definitely got to thank Dean and the rest of the crew getting us access to this cherry red Canyon Elevation 4x4. Let me know what you think. For the money, is this the most affordable, or are you going to go somewhere else? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, think we're being part of the Raised Rise family. Got to get up to the flood, man. He's working the camera, he's working the women, he's working life. So thank you, Steven, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.